6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The President and the Prime Minister have reaffirmed not to compromise on peace and security of the country. Security forces have killed 25 Khawarij, including their ringleader in Tira Valley today. The Federal Cabinet has approved recommendations submitted by the right sizing of the Federal Government Committee for Merger and Dissolution of 82 state-owned enterprises. The Interior Minister says the federal government will extend full cooperation to the Balochistan government to ensure peace in the province. At least 20 more Palestinians were martyred in relentless Israeli strikes across Gaza today. Paralympic Games 2024 will start in Paris tomorrow. And now the news in detail. The Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif has reiterated the unwavering resolve of the government and the armed forces of Pakistan to root out terrorism from the country. He was presiding over the Federal Cabinet meeting held in Islamabad today. He strongly condemned the terrorist incidents in Balochistan and other areas of the country that resulted in the martyrdom of innocent Pakistanis, including the security forces personnel. The Prime Minister said sacrifices rendered by the people and the armed forces of Pakistan in the war against terrorism will not go waste. The Prime Minister said all available resources would be provided to the armed forces to curb terrorism. He said doors of dialogue are open for those who believe in Pakistan and its constitution. However, no talks will be held with the enemies and the terrorists. Referring to the terrorist incidents in Balochistan and other parts of the country, the Prime Minister said it is no secret now that terrorists of Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan operating from Afghanistan are behind the terrorist attacks. The President Asif Ali Zardari and Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif have reaffirmed that no compromise will be made on peace and security of the country, and Fitna al-Khawarij will not be allowed to spread chaos. In their separate statements, they paid rich tribute to the armed forces of Pakistan for successful operation against Khawarij in Khyber district today. They reiterated the resolve to continue the war against terrorism till the extirpation of the menace from the country. President Asif Ali Zardari said Pakistani nation will not hesitate to make any sacrifice for the country. In a statement, the Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif said the entire Pakistani nation stands firm by the armed forces of Pakistan to defeat Fitna al-Khawarij. The security forces have successfully neutralized 25 Khawarij, including Khawarij ringleader Abu Zar alias Saddam, who has been sent to hell, while 11 Khawarij have been injured. According to ISPR, security forces are conducting extensive intelligence-based operations in Tira, Khyber district against Fitna al-Khawarij and so-called Lashkar-e-Islam and Jamaatul Ehrar. These operations, based on robust intelligence, have resulted into major setbacks to Fitna al-Khawarij and its affiliates. However, during these operations being conducted since the 20th of this month, 4 brave soldiers, having fought gallantly, paid the ultimate sacrifice and embraced martyrdom. President Asif Ali Zardari has conferred Nishan-e-Imtiaz military upon the Commander General Li Qiaoming of People's Liberation Army Ground Forces of China. The President conferred the award upon General Li Qiaoming at a special investiture ceremony in Islamabad today. The Federal Cabinet has approved recommendations submitted by the right sizing of the Federal Government Committee for Merger and Dissolution of 82 state-owned enterprises. The Cabinet, which met in Islamabad today with the Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif in the chair, while assenting to the recommendations, also constituted a committee to protect the interests of the employees who will be affected by the merger and dissolution of various departments. These 82 entities are being transformed into robust institutions through digitization, smart management, efficient governance, transparency, and swift implementation to provide better facilities to the common man. The federal cabinet was informed that in the first phase, enforcement of the committee's recommendations has begun in 6 ministries. This will help improve the government's performance, correct use of human capital and policy making, as well as end unnecessary delays in the implementation of decisions. The Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi called on the Chief Minister Balochistan Mir Sarfaraz Bukti in Quetta today. During the meeting, they discussed issues pertaining to law and order situation and measures taken for the protection of the life of people in the province. They strongly condemned the recent terrorist attacks and paid rich tribute to the sacrifices of the martyred security personnel. Speaking on the occasion, the Chief Minister of Balochistan said more steps would be taken to ensure peace in the province. This is Radio Pakistan. Extrajudicial killings and fake encounters continue to surface in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir as the Narendra Modi regime's brutal crackdown on Kashmiris shows no signs of abating. The latest victim is Riaz Ahmed Dar, a Kashmiri youth martyred in a fake encounter by the Indian troops in Baramulla 2 days ago. This incident highlights the systematic targeting of Kashmiri youth by the Indian forces, emboldened by draconian laws and a culture of impunity. At least 20 more Palestinians were martyred in relentless Israeli strikes across Gaza today. The martyrdom toll of Palestinians in the Israeli aggression since October last year has now risen to 40,476. Meanwhile, the United Nations says it has been forced to pause aid operations in Gaza after mass evacuation ordered by Israel in Deir Bala. The United Nations had based its operations center in Deir Bala after relocating from Rafah when Israeli forces launched a ground invasion there. The United States National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan has arrived in Beijing for a 3-day visit to hold talks with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. This is the first visit by an American national security advisor to China in 8 years and is seen as laying the groundwork for another summit between American President Joe Biden and his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping. Paralympic Games 2024 will officially kick off in Paris, France tomorrow with a vibrant and spectacular opening ceremony. The event is set to take place over the next 11 consecutive days, concluding on the 8th of next month. The Paralympic Games, which are held every 4 years, are a premier international sporting event for athletes with physical disabilities. And finally, the weather report. Widespread rain, windstorm and thunder showers is likely in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. Heavy falls with gusty winds and windstorm are also expected at scattered places during the period. To end the news, here once again are some of the headlines. The President and the Prime Minister have reaffirmed not to compromise on peace and security of the country. Security forces have killed 25 Khawarij, including their ringleader in Tira Valley today. The Federal Cabinet has approved recommendations submitted by the right sizing of the Federal Government Committee for Merger and Dissolution of 82 state-owned enterprises. The Interior Minister says the federal government will extend full cooperation to the Balochistan government to ensure peace in the province. Those were some of the headlines, and that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.